Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to insert OptinMonster lead in MySQL database. So to promote my business, I am using a lead conversion tool that is OptinMonster, and my objective is that whenever a new lead will be generated by OptinMonster, then automatically the details of that lead should be inserted in my MySQL database. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For this, we will have to set up a connection between OptinMonster and MySQL, and that we are going to do without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect works on two principles, trigger and action. So in trigger we are going to take OptinMonster, and in action we are going to take MySQL, and we are going to set up a connection between these two applications to automate this entire process. And to learn this amazing automation step by step, let me take you all towards my screen. So in this video I'm going to show you step by step that how we can automatically insert data and record in our MySQL database whenever a new lead will be generated from OptinMonster. So OptinMonster is a lead conversion platform. So I'm using it in order to generate leads for my business. I want that as soon as a lead will be generated from OptinMonster, then the details of that lead should be automatically recorded in my MySQL database, such as name, email address, and phone number, so that I can further connect with them. Now I'm going to automate the entire process of creating this record, and that I'm going to do without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which helps us to set up connections between multiple applications without any coding or programming skills to automate all our repetitive tasks, that too within minutes. So with the help of Pabbly Connect, I'm going to set up a connection between OptinMonster and MySQL database. This is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, we can find two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user like me, you can directly click on sign in. But if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will create your account, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now, because I am already an existing user, therefore I am clicking on sign in. This is all apps section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also create different folders over here to save our workflows accordingly. Now to create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option. As we have done that, a dialog box has appeared. It is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, let me provide a name over here. Insert OptinMonster lead in MySQL database. After giving this name here, I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save my workflow. So I have multiple folders over here. You can see I want to save my workflow in this automations for lead management folder. I have selected that, and now let's click on create. In the same manner, you can also create different folders on your dashboard to save your workflow separately. Now, as we have done that, we can see that two windows are open in front of us, trigger and action. Now, what are these? Trigger and actions are basically the principles, as I told you, and we can say that these are the building blocks on which the automation runs. Here, the trigger says when this happens, and the action says do this. That means the action is a response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Now let's suppose here I'm going to take OptinMonster in my trigger and MySQL in my action, and I want that whenever a new lead will be generated from OptinMonster by filling up my form which I've created, then automatically the details of that lead should be added in MySQL. So here we can clearly see that action is following the trigger. Why? Because when the trigger happens, that means when the lead is generated from OptinMonster, then only the record is created in MySQL database, otherwise not. So after understanding this whole concept, let's start setting up the connection between OptinMonster and MySQL. And for that, first of all, we have to create the workflow. And to start the workflow, we have to select our trigger application. So let's move towards that. Here our trigger application will be OptinMonster. So let's select that. Now we have to select the trigger event. Now trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to start or it is going to trigger. So new lead will be our trigger event over here, because we want that whenever a new lead will be generated by submitting the form in OptinMonster, then automatically the response of that lead should be captured over here, and With that response, instantly the workflow should get triggered. So new lead is our trigger event. We have selected that. Now we have to set up the connection between OptinMonster and Pabbly Connect. For that, we have received one webhook URL and some instructions. So we have to follow these instructions step by step to set up the connection. And also the webhook URL is going to act as a bridge for transferring the data from OptinMonster towards Pabbly Connect whenever a lead will be generated. So we'll simply copy this URL as it is very important. And first of all, it is given that we have to log into our account. I have already done that. So I'm going to take you towards my OptinMonster account. This is my dashboard and here is the form which I have created for generating leads in OptinMonster. So I'm going to click on edit campaign over here. And after coming over here, we have to go towards integrations. On integrations, here is the option of add a new integration. Let's select that. And here we have to search for webhooks. When we'll scroll down, we will find the option of webhooks. We have to select that. Now, as we've selected webhook, it is asking us for the webhook name. So these are all the recent webhooks I have created. But because I want to create a new webhook, so I'm going to click on add new webhook button. Now, as we have done that, it is asking us for the new webhook name and the URL. So let's simply paste the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect in this webhook URL field. And now I'm going to provide a name to my webhook. So let's say I'm going to give the name as new leads. All right, so you can give the name according to your choice. Here, after giving the name and the webhook URL, you have to click on connect to webhook and your webhook is ready. So you can see that the name of my webhook is added over here, new leads, and it is active. So we'll go back towards Pabbly Connect. Here we have received a test response. This test response means that our connection is absolutely successful. So let's click on recapture webhook response button to capture the response of an actual lead. And how we're going to do that? By making a test submission of a lead. So I'm going to open the form which I have created and I'm going to submit this form to capture a response in Pabbly Connect of a new lead. So it is asking ready to provide a better customer experience. This is my form. It is going to start from here. So when a lead is going to click on yes, sign me up, so the lead will redirect it towards this form. So as soon as they will fill the form, I'm going to receive the response of that lead in my Pabbly Connect account. Now here, because I'm doing a test submission, so I'm going to enter the dummy details. Let's start with a name. Let's say the name of the lead who is submitting the form is Smart Lead. The email address is, let's say, smartlead89@pabblytudes.com, and now I'm going to enter a random phone number. All right. So as we have done that, we will simply click on subscribe. And here the lead is signed up. So now we will go back towards Pabbly Connect to check whether we have received the response of this lead. And yes, we can see that the response is automatically captured. In this response, we have received all the details. This is the smart tag year. That means the year in which the lead is created. The timestamp, that means the date and time on which the lead is created. Here's the referral URL. Along with this, we have also received some other details. That means the date at which the lead is generated, the day, the month, the time, the phone number of the lead, first name, last name, email address, and all other details. This means that our connection is absolutely successful, and now whenever a lead is going to be generated from OptinMonster, by submitting our form, absolutely and instantly the response is going to be captured over here in Pabbly Connect immediately. Alright, so here when we have received this response, our objective is to add the details of this lead in our MySQL database. This is my database. It contains following details: first name, last name, email, and phone number. I want to insert the details of the lead in this database, so I'm going to connect this database with Pabbly Connect. Alright, so I will move back towards my workflow and we will go towards the action step now. Our action application over here will be MySQL, so let's select that. Now we have to select the action event, and our action event will be insert row. So we want that whenever a lead will be generated, a new row should be inserted with all the details of that lead in our MySQL database. Let's click on connect. It is asking us for two options: add new connection or select existing connection. So to build a new connection, you have to provide all these details: database username, database password, host name, database port, etc. So when you will create your account in MySQL, you will find all these details over there. You have to enter them one by one, and that too clearly. Now, because I have already created an existing connection with my MySQL database account, so I'm going to go with that and I will simply click on save. As we have done that, we can see that the connection is successful. Now, after building this connection, we have to enter the details in these fields to create a record over there. So first of all, we have to select the table name. So I'm going to take you towards my MySQL database. The name of this table is OptinMonster Leads. So we will simply select the same name over here. So this is the name of my table, OptinMonster Leads. I have selected that from the drop down. In the same manner, you have to select your table name. Now here the fields are visible, which we have in our database. So the first name, last name, email, and the phone number. One by one, we have to enter the details in these fields to create a record. And because we want to create a record of the lead which is generated in our earlier response, so we will simply use the previous response in order to enter these details. Now, when we use a previous response to enter the data, it is known as mapping. So mapping is inserting data from previous response. As we know, this is our previous response and here are all the details. First of all, we want to enter the first name. So this is the first name which we have received, Smart. When I'm going to select that, it is mapped. So when we map our data, it becomes dynamic. That means with each and every new response, it is going to replace automatically. So now whenever a lead will be generated from OptinMonster and the response will be captured over here in Pabbly Connect, automatically the name and all other details which we are going to map over here in these fields are going to be replaced with the new details of that new lead. And in this way, we are going to automate the entire process of creating a record of our leads in MySQL database. But if we will enter our data manually, then it will become static and then it is not going to replace. Therefore, the workflow will get stuck then. Now, I hope you have understood that why we map the data. Now, we have to map the last name as well in the same manner. This is the last name, lead. I am going to map the email address and here is the phone number. I have only used some basic fields over here, first name, last name, email and phone number. But in your case, if you want, you can add as many fields as you want according to your form response. Alright. So here when we have mapped the details, let's click on save and send test request button. And we can see that we have received a response. In the response, it is given that the status of this response is success. That means the data is automatically inserted in our database. So let's go and check. And yes, here we can see that automatically the details of my lead are added over here. Smart lead, this is the email address and here is the phone number. So these are all the same details which we have entered while submitting the form in OptinMonster. This means that our connection is absolutely perfect. So we'll go back towards OptinMonster. Here I'm going to open my form once again. And I'm going to submit this form once again with all new details this time so that we can check that automatically whether our workflow is running fine or not and the details are added in our MySQL database. So let's click on yes, sign me up. Here I'm going to enter the details. Let's say this time the name of the lead is dummy lead. Here I'm going to enter the email address and the phone number. Okay, now I'm going to click on subscribe and here the lead is created. So let's go and check whether on our database the details of this lead is added or not. So here I'm going to simply click on refresh and the details are automatically added. Yes, this means that our connection is absolutely fine and our workflow is successful. So let's just quickly summarize what we have done in this workflow. So we have taken two simple steps, trigger and action. In trigger, we have taken OptinMonster and in action, we have taken MySQL. And we have connected both of them with the help of Pabbly Connect in such a way that now whenever a lead is generated in OptinMonster, the details of that lead will be automatically inserted in our MySQL database in the form of a new row. Now, these were the steps which we have to follow in order to set up this connection between OptinMonster and MySQL. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends and also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.